All right, so I'm gonna just dive right in with the polygamy, and this is like just my theory. Um, I feel like the way that the world has evolved, we're not in the primitive stages of polygamy with tribes and things like that. The way they used to be back hundreds and thousands of years ago and all that type of stuff. I'll have to look at it in context of if I was in a situation of polygamy and how would I be able to practice it and how it would be able to be a success when there's no violence and there's nobody getting hurt. Right. So my main thing will actually be is I have to be able to look at it as what is my mission? What am I trying to accomplish? And then my whys would have to be from different continents. Right. I would have to have a North American wife, South American, African, European, Middle Eastern, Asian, and Australian. Every single wife will have to be from a different continent with different customs and different culture, and that would have to be the tribe for me, right? Um, what else would I would have to look at? I would have to look at the fact that I would not stay with none of them. I would not live with none of them. I would have my own place, and every single wife will have their own place. And I feel like the reason why, especially in the beginning, is when you have your own place, you're able to be your own self. Like you'll be able to design a place that you want to. You'll be able to have a certain type of foods there that you like, that type of stuff. So let's just say, and I feel like when a dude who is the king, you know what I'm saying, if he has different places where his wives are at, you can't take down everybody at one location. Like if everybody is at the same spot, just say you had a problem with somebody. Just say somebody wanted to ride down on you. You can't go there and kill all the wives and shit. Like you can't just go in one swoop and just knock off everybody or know all that shit. And another thing too, nobody would even know who my wives are. Ever. I will never let you know who they are. Because what happens is this. I feel like this. I feel like I look at the struggle and the fight for a person's mission is like war to me. You have to wake up every day and go to war with yourself, and you have to wake up and go to war with the world, and you have to go to war with spirits and demons and all type of shit that's going on. It just depends on each individual person. But when you set your mindset to like I'm about to go on a mission, you're gonna come in contact with adversaries. You're gonna become in contact with enemies. You're gonna become in contact with certain people that's going to try to stop you from getting to where you want to go to. I feel like that's going to happen. It's not going to never be no clear cut path to your destination and shit to the mission. It's not going to happen like that ever. So I look at it things from a war standpoint. I look at it like this. I look at it like maybe I need my queen to go do something to somebody. See, my queen would be able to sit next to somebody who's my enemy and you wouldn't even know who she is. She can listen to your conversation. You wouldn't even know who she was. That's the type of thing that I would have on that type of thing until I accomplish the mission. You know what I'm saying? Because the queens are valuable like that. But let's go back. Let's go back to like the queens having their own places. Is because if I'm the king, right? And just say I go to the African girl house, I'm taught African culture, right? I'm taught African culture. I'm taught how Africans live. I don't want to change her at all. I don't want her to change her to be what I want her to be. You know what I mean? I'm black and Dominican, right? I don't want to give her my value system. I want to learn her value system. I want to be able to listen to her and have her teach me. Have her say like, "Hey, this is how you cook this meal. This is how you sleep. You know what I mean? This is how you prepare the day and everything that African custom is. I want to be able to learn that because if I just sit there and try to make her believe what I want her to believe, I strip her of her womanhood. I strip her of of who she is as a person because she's no longer being who she is destined to be. She's being what I'm making her be, and I don't want that. I want the true pure essence of the woman. I want to learn that. right? So then, and then for the African girl, let's just say I go to um, um, the South American girl. I go to her house. Her house is going to be totally different, and it's going to be designed a certain way. It's going to be different kind of food. It's going to be a different type of experience. So to get to the point of everything is like, if I'm visiting all these places, all 6 places or whatever, 6, 7 places, you know what I'm saying? Otherwise, with different cultures, I learned so much in the beginning that I've never learned before. So now, after that stage and everything, then I may consider bringing people together slowly but surely after we start accomplishing some shit. Because I really feel like, a lot of people, who practice polygamy, especially in the black culture, they look at it as like a pimp thing type of thing and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? They look at it like, and what that really does, it really like, excuse me, it really like hurts the idea of even being in a polygamy relationship. Because it can't be done with just anybody. Because the women cannot be damaged. Like, you cannot have a damaged woman to be in a polygamy relationship. You can't have a woman who currently has demons and problems and running from shit and ain't fixed herself yet to be amongst all these women all together. That is going to immediately bring up insecurities, problems, emotional issues, and all that. See, a lot of people feel like insecurities and jealousy is like a sin. It's not. What it is, it's a natural emotion. It is a natural emotion. Because why do you feel jealous? Well, ask yourself, why do you feel? Why is that a natural emotion to feel jealous? Jealousy isn't a taught emotion. It's a natural emotion that's already embedded in your DNA. So you're gonna feel jealous when what? When you don't have something that's your own, right? I may be jealous of this dude who has a badass car outside. The reason why I'm jealous, because I don't have a badass car. If I had a badass car, I would not be caring about that dude car like that. You see what I'm saying? So those are the things that we pretty much need to be able to look at too, man, is that those are natural emotions that every human being are born with. When you have your own shit, you're not intimidated or you don't have a problem with another female or with another man. It's usually when you don't have your own shit. So all the women will have to be from different cultures. All the women will have to have their own places to live. I will have my own place to live. You know what I mean? They would be able to come visit me one by one. I'll be able to come visit them one by one. And they probably would not even know about each other in the beginning. So I would have to be able to implement that theory first. Now, I would slowly be like, once we start accomplishing things, because whatever the mission is, because each individual woman is going to be able to help accomplish the mission. See, the thing is, like, you don't need a bunch of wives to help accomplish the mission. You need one queen and you need subordinates. You need people you hire and shit. There's like this one queen. It's like the co-CEO of a company. You don't need to sleep with your employees and shit. You just need to hire your employees to do what the mission is. See, that's what separates, I feel like, the real tribal involvement of polygamy than the primitive way and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't like niggas in the street, they want to sleep with their employees and they want to sleep with the boss and they wonder why their companies and shit is fucked up and shit like that. That's one of the reasons, man. You don't have sex with your employees, man. You understand what I'm saying? There's one queen, and if you need some other shit done, then you hire somebody for that. And another thing is that when we look at sex, um, meeting a new woman and all that type of stuff, man, I could not have sex with her until she got tested. And I mean tested to the point, I'm talking about 6 months without having no sex with her. I will be accomplishing the mission. We'll be doing what we need to do, but I couldn't be intimate with her at all until I kind of like really figured out who she was with, what DNA is still in your body, what diseases you may have, all that type of stuff. I would have to have a thorough medical investigation of what her sexual history was and what diseases and what STDs she may currently have. That's just me. A lot of people will see a girl and just be like, "Oh, you my wife," and just fuck you on the first night or fuck you on the second night, and not knowing this shit. You could be carrying all type of STDs and weird shit up in your body and shit like that. And what are you gonna do? You're gonna pass it along to everybody else and probably not give a fuck about it. I'm not gonna affect my people like that. I'm gonna take my time. Because I don't look at the woman as being like a sexual object like that to be dominated and controlled and to have sex and to do all that shit with. No, man, that's not what I'm here for. You know what I'm saying? Sex is cool and all that type of shit. But for me, you gotta get tested. I would have my own lab people, man. I would be like, hey, I'll be on that shit because some of them diseases and some of them viruses lays dormant in your blood system for years, months, all that shit. I would have to have the best doctors. I would have the best people to be able to get that medical history so I don't get infected with anything. Because if I get affected with something, then that means I affect everybody else. And if children is involved, that means I affected the children. That's like a serious lack of sexual responsibility when you have sex with people that you do not get tested. Now, going further, like I'm saying, I'm just diving into certain stuff, man. To go further with it, when we look at children, right? I would possibly, you know what I mean, have children by each woman from different cultures, right? Because when I bring all the kids together and when I bring all the women together, eventually, not in the beginning, eventually I have to wean myself into that situation. When I bring all the women together, then those children will be able to do the same thing I was able to do, learn different cultures. There's a teaching thing that's going on there. And each woman will be able to learn from different cultures. Like the African woman will learn South American culture. The Australian woman will be able to learn more about the European culture. Like it'll just go on for days and days and years with the teaching. And the kids will be multicultural because that's what we're going more towards in the future of the world. The primitive days of everybody staying the same, like all black people staying the same, is really over with now. Like that's primitive, man. You need to have multicultural. Like look at Spanish people now. Spanish people that came over the United States and damn near changed the language. In order to have a really decent job, you got to be able to speak English and Spanish. And I would want my children to be able to speak all those languages. I want you to speak Australian. I want you to speak some Polish in the European side. I want you to speak some African. I want you to speak some Asian. I want you to speak some Middle Eastern. Look how powerful that would be for the children to be able to speak so many different languages. So wherever they go out there in the world, like I can have a Middle Eastern child who know how to speak Chinese, know how to speak Arabic, knows how to speak Spanish, just like look at it like that. They can go to those countries and speak fluently and get some shit done in the world. That's just my theory. That's my theory on it, right? How I look at it. Also, too, I feel like women should not be trapped in some house through like prisoners and shit. Each woman should be able to go out there into the world and experience world based on who she is and based on her genetic makeup and what she want to be able to do with her life and shit. She should be able to go. Like the Asian girl should be able to go. She shouldn't be stuck in the house with me all day. I'm not the only one that can teach her shit. I'm not going to limit my queen to just what I teach her when there's a whole huge ass world out there. I'm supposed to learn from my queen. I'm not just supposed to be one to dictate the knowledge. I'm supposed to learn from my queen. So what my queen brings to the table, I'm not supposed to kill that. I'm not supposed to say like, oh, you don't believe what I don't believe in. Fuck that, I'm not listening to you. No, I need my queen to leave the castle and under protection, you know what I'm saying? And be able to go and accomplish the things in her life that she wants to be able to accomplish. And once she does that, I will be able to learn from that. I'm not killing the soul of no woman. It doesn't make any sense to me. Whatever she is, I am going to bring that shit out. That's my part. That's my That's my duty and responsibility as the man, as the king. If this is a tribe situation like that, is to be able to bring out what I see inside each woman that she pretty much can't see herself. It's not to kill what's inside her that I don't have, that I don't agree with, or just not in sync with what I'm trying to do. I don't want them to be my replicas. Why? That don't make any sense. You got a lot of people out here with polygamy relationships, and they want their women to be just like them, want them to talk like them, act like them, speak like them. For what? No, I don't want that. I don't want another me. I'm not gonna learn nothing if I have another me around me every single day, dude. That's just like me having a black Toyota Camry, and I just got another Toyota Camry, but it may be a couple years younger than me, and it may be and it's the same model. Why would I want that? When I can have another different type of vehicle that can have a different type of purpose for what I'm trying to be able to do. See what I'm saying? So that's really in a nutshell. That's kind of like my theory on it. I really feel like it's unnatural. I feel like it's unnatural, but I feel like it can happen. It could be practiced, and it could be successful. But the person that's putting it all together has to be righteous like that. You can't exploit the woman, and you can't make a woman do it. A woman has to naturally want to be able to do it, and if she doesn't want to be able to do it, you can't you can't I can't say you can't. Like, plenty of people try to coerce their women and beat women into it and make them feel like shit because they not into it or whatever like that. Yeah, you can do all that, but that's not going to be real natural shit. What's that going to do is when you start coercing women and being violent to women and everything and making them do something, all that's really going to happen to you in the future, you may die. Because the woman is going to get enough of that shit. See, a woman, I feel like, would act like she's submissive. A woman would act like, yeah, everything is all good. A woman would act like, yeah, you playing her and you getting away with some shit. But all in her brain, she's watching you purposely do that to her, and she's looking at it like, damn, you really don't have my best interest at heart. You really trying to fuck me up out here. And eventually, she is going to strike back, man. Because the queen is just like the king, man. It's like you like the king has male and female, and the woman has, and the queen has male and female. They're like the same, damn near. You know what I'm saying? It's just the woman has more stronger shit on the feminine side, and the man may have stronger shit on the masculine side. Or we may not even know based on who that person is and shit, man. It might be the opposite. It might be altered a little bit. But they're pretty much the same, dude. It's male and female in each individual. Women know how to go to war. They just go to war different. Women know how to hurt a man's feelings. They just do it different. Women know how to kill. They just do it different. Women know how to love. They just do it different. You see what I'm saying? So I just have to look at all those different. I just have to look at all those different things, man. I have to look at towards the future. A lot of people say we should live in the now, live in the present, but we're never living in the now because every single millisecond is going towards the future. You don't even have an opportunity to really live in the now because like I said, every second, every millisecond, every moment is moving towards to the future. We move into the force of the future constantly, every single day, constantly. Like what happened yesterday is not going to be a duplicate of what happens tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So you're always going to be like moving forward and shit. So I don't agree with living in the present like that. I believe that you should be able to understand the present, but you should be devising weapons and you should be devising a certain type of mentality to be able to deal with what lies in the future. And I think that's just a nigga mentality. Niggas in their mind think that they ain't gonna live the next day. Niggas in their mind think like, man, I might die tomorrow, man. You only live once, man. I'm gonna do all this shit today and act like tomorrow ain't gonna come. But tomorrow may come. So when I look at the whole polygamy thing, man, I really feel like, in closing, I really feel like you gotta have multicultures. You gotta have a strong ass mission. And nobody, and this is like one of my main rules, I think, that people should be able to understand. No one is supposed to know who your queen is. No one. Even the queens are not supposed to know who they are. Right? So let me give you an example before we end this. Because a lot of times they say in a polygamy relationship, they compare it like this. They say, like, okay, a dude is out here hollering at this girl, hollering at that girl, hollering at this girl. Like, he got 3 different girls he hollering at or whatever like that. And a lot of girls be like, hey, man, just tell the truth, and let me know who you mess with and all that type of stuff and all that, right? But if the man kept that shit separate and nobody knew about each other, he accomplishes his mission every single time. It ain't until that the women find out about each other that the mission is over with. He has to abort the mission. But if none of these females are knowing about who they are, if this girl lives on the east side and that girl lives on the north side and that girl lives on the south side, and he's going to house handling different stuff with each one of those girls, and none of them know about each other, he is accomplishing the mission. He winning. Because he don't got no problems. And the reason why he's winning, because nobody knows about each other. That's why soon as the girls know each other, it's over. Soon you even introduce, you could did a lot of building with this girl on the north side, a lot of building on the east side, a lot of building on the south side, all that type of stuff. You could have built all that. You could have had so much love, so much enjoyment, all these different things. But as soon as you tell that girl on the north side about the girl on the south side, shit is going to be destroyed on both sides. Your south side shit accomplishments is going to be fucked up, and your north side accomplishments is going to be fucked up. And the only reason why they're fucked up is because you told them about each other, man. That's it. So we're going to talk more about that in the future, but that's where I'm at now. Later.